Welcome to Let's H. H for Hushicho and H for Echi, which is to say naughty. Welcome to the third episode. It's good that you've stayed with me for so long. I'm really glad to welcome you back for all of you that have tuned into the first two, and I'm also happy to welcome any newcomers. This series is the series of my personal podcast where I keep you up to date with what's going on in my life, my projects, what I'm doing right now, so you can keep up with Hushicho. Now today I have a few exciting updates, a few interesting things to say. I've also got some questions that I know you're going to enjoy. In the past week or so I've been struggling with some health issues. I actually got an eye infection, so I'm trying to get that out of here, but hopefully it's going to be on the way out soon. And I've been on medicine that kind of makes me a mixture of sleepy, achy, and hungry. So I've been eating a lot more than I usually do, and well, if any of you have followed me on Twitter, you've seen a lot of my pictures of my lunches, because typically lunch is my biggest meal, and I actually go the trouble of cooking for lunch in a more elaborate way than I tend to do for breakfast or dinner. So if you want to see what I've been eating for the past few days, just check out my Twitter account or my Tumblr, because I'm putting up pictures on there. So if you like nice, usually very healthy food, check it out. I'll be happy to share the recipe with you too if you'd like. Just write me at my email address, hushicho@gmail.com. I've been working on the website for my upcoming project, The Long Library. I've done a few different pieces for that site. I did one piece that I thought I was going to put on it, but my eyes were getting very sensitive to light and getting very tired, and as a result I think I didn't do the picture as I'm satisfied with, so I probably won't put it up on the Long Library, but I will probably put it up in some fashion somewhere or other. At the very least I will provide it to patrons on Patreon, so you have that to look forward to if you want to check it out. And I've got more stuff for the Long Library that's coming up. I've also got the site that will be linking together the Long Library comic site and what I'm going to be doing with my upcoming novel, which is very exciting. I still can't tell you all about it yet because I'm not far enough along yet, but you will enjoy it, I'm sure, when I do. And I'm really excited about it, so I'm hoping that you will be just as excited. Now I've got to answer the questions that have been sent in since last time. I've actually got a few questions, and I've chosen two that are really, really good. So the first question comes from Nina the Wizard, and I will have the links at the bottom for people that send in questions so that you can check out their Twitter, you can check out what they're doing, and follow them if you would like to do that. And it's really great for you to send in questions, because I love to answer questions. I'd love to answer your questions. So remember, send them in to hushicho@gmail.com, or comment on this video with your question, and it might just be featured in the next episode. Nina asks, do you believe that art and history are important together, or that art should only move forward to the future? That is actually a really good question, and it's a complex question. It's probably something that would take me several episodes to address in a way that it's worthy of. But my short and sweet opinion on it is that art and history are very important together, but I don't think art should be held back by history. I think art is one of those things where an artist should be a visionary in a way that, that can show how much the artist sees of, like, the ideals, or even the opposite of ideals. How much insight the artist has, how much the artist can reflect in what is, what may come, and what should be or what shouldn't be. And when you create a piece of art, you are necessarily always making some kind of statement. Like, it doesn't really matter what you intend, because you're always going to make some sort of value statement, because part of art is creating a value statement. Part of art is choosing which lines to depict and which lines not to. Seeing this image in your mind, seeing this work in your mind, and developing it in a way that is appropriate to that piece of art, a way that you are satisfied with presenting. So I think it is very important that artists not be held back by even, especially not historical, but even contemporary ideas, because an artist must be an independent thinker and able to present something exactly as that artist wants to present that message, to make the statement in the piece of art that they are doing, so that it will enable not only people but also art itself to advance. So I think art and history are important. It's important to know where you've been, to know where you're going. Since art is such an individual thing as well, I think it's something that people shouldn't feel so beholden and so tied to the past that they don't feel like anything that they're doing is valid or necessary, because it's essential that art moves forward without being too tied down by history. You know, it's good to have a basis, it's good to have a foundation, but don't get too caught up in it. I hope that's an adequate answer. Our other question is from Teresa Garcia, and that comes from YouTube. And she asks, have you got any tips on channeling inspiration into the projects one is already committed to instead of all the little offshoots? I do have some tips. One of my biggest tips, though, is try to find a way to manage your time in a way where, and it's usually best, like when I wake up in the morning, I think, okay, first off, what do I need to do today? What do I need to get done? What are the things that I have to do today in order to keep doing what I'm doing? You know, what do I need to get done before I say, okay, I'm done for the day? That's your first priority. Then ask yourself, what would you like to get done? These are things that you can live with not getting done, but it would be really good to do them, and you'll probably feel better for having been able to accomplish them. This can be anything from, you know, chores around the house that have been waiting that will technically be able to wait a little longer, but you'll probably be a little happier if you get them over with, to things that you've just been meaning to do for a long time. And then, third of all, what would be great if I were able to accomplish them, but I'm not under any illusions that I'm going to be able to. Like, these are things that you probably won't be able to do, in all honesty, but things that you would feel really good if, at the end of the day, you were able to accomplish one or two of them. I say put them in these three echelons of necessary, good, and optional, and just see what you can do. All you have to do is be satisfied with doing what you need to do. All the rest is gravy. But it'll make you feel better too if you're able to accomplish some of the things that are optional or not really necessary, but will make you feel better for having done them. On the topic of specifically like project focuses as opposed to offshoots and side projects, I think side projects and variety are very important. I think it's also important to have priorities. So focus on what you need to focus on. Focus on your main projects. But don't be afraid to experiment on the side. Don't be afraid to do things on the side, because you never really know what is going to hit it big, and you never really know what's going to hit it big with you either. Like, what may really communicate to you something that you really want to do. I have found so many interesting things that ended up being very popular with a certain audience or very well received simply by playing around with something that seemed like a neat idea at the time. So I would say don't make yourself focus too much on things past the point that you need to. You know, have those priorities, have those three echelons of things that you need, things that you'd like, and things that would be nice. But, you know, don't be afraid to let some of your time go to things on the side that maybe you're not going to really focus on them as a main project yet, but it's something that you can cultivate. It's a way that you can let your mind sort of run with an idea, and it helps your creativity ultimately. So I would just say, you know, try and set out your 3 levels at the beginning of the day, and whatever else comes up, you know, take it as it comes and try and do your best with that, because I think that's really a good operating philosophy in general. But your mileage may vary. I hope I've done a good job with this one as well. So let me know how these answers work out for you, and let me know if you have further questions, even on these same topics. I'd be happy to talk about it more. This week I've got a new quote for you, so write in if you know who said it, what it's from, and the circumstances, and you could win a prize. Alright, are you ready? Here we go. I couldn't toast a piece of bread with the heat they were putting on you. Know who said it and in what? Write me, hushicho@gmail.com. You could win a prize. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming again. I hope you've been adequately updated on my situation. There's not a huge amount of things going on, but I've got some things that I'd like to plan in the future, and I am really itching to tell you more about the novel project that I've got going on, but I can't do that yet because it's not at a stage where I'm really comfortable sharing a lot of information about it. And on a superstitious level as well, I don't want to jinx it, because you know how sometimes this happens when you talk about something, you're very excited about it, and then you jinx it and you never want it again. But I'm also working on the website, and it's almost done. I've got just a couple of things left. It should be very exciting to do, and I'm really looking forward to it. And also, I've been thinking about doing like a personal professional blog that deals with, you know, doing things professionally in terms of like adult comics, adult art, and erotica. Let me know your thoughts on that, if you'd like to see that, if you would support such a project, because I'm really seeing a lot more out in the world that a lot of people are interested in it, but there's not a lot of support for it. There's not a lot of people saying, hey, I had this experience and this is what happened and this is what you need to think about and these are some considerations and this is my experience. So let me know if you like that. If you have any suggestions for a title, if you have any suggestions for that sort of concept, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in for the first time. Please listen to the first couple of episodes. Follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, follow me on YouTube, and become a patron on Patreon if you like my work. Please support it. I'm happy to do all this for you, and there's so many wonderful bonuses that you get by being a patron. So please give it a thought, and I'll see you here next time. Be well, and try and stay well. You don't want to go to the doctor. I'm Hushicho, and this has been Let's H. See you next time.